My name is Shantasia Crawford. I'm an active student at the School of the Arts. And today, we're going to have a special guest for you today. My co-host Elizabeth Osei-Kwame will be introducing our guest for today.
Thank you, Shantasia.
You're welcome, Elizabeth.
Our special guest for this evening is the Superintendent of the Syracuse City School District, Ms. Sharon L. Contreras. Ms. Contreras was raised as the 7th of 10 children in Long Island, New York. She then attended Binghamton University as well as Wisconsin-Madison University, where she is currently completing her PhD as a dissertator. Now please give a warm welcome to Ms. Sharon L. Contreras.
Thank you, Ms. Contreras, for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today.
It's my pleasure.
We appreciate all that you do for our schools. I understand you were a teacher.
Yes, I was an English teacher.
What encouraged you to change your career from a teacher to a superintendent?
Well, I don't see this as a change of a career. I still teach. So I teach administrators, I teach teachers, but I feel like as a superintendent, I influence thousands and thousands of children's lives instead of just the students that are in front of me every day. So it's an opportunity to change thousands of lives.
When you first came here, did you have any ideas what you wanted to change?
Not so much what I wanted to change, but my goal was always to make sure that the school district becomes the most improved urban school district in America. So that has not changed. That's my goal, and I'm going to make sure that happens.
What encouraged you to change the school systems from a 4-block to a 10 period?
Okay, that's a great question. You know, the 4-block schedule is actually not a bad schedule, and there's no magic in any particular schedule in a high school. However, the 4x4 block is a schedule where you have classes every other day. So many students were not practicing some skills every day, some very important skills. So in English and math, it's not a good thing not to have those classes every day and not to practice those skills every day. So it was important to us to make sure that students actually practice English and math every day. We also did the math, and over the course of 4 years, you pick up the equivalent of 121 school days by going to a 7-period day over a 4x4 block. That's nearly 3/4 of a school year. So it's more time learning.
What would you say to a student who think the plans that you had implemented made it hard and difficult for them?
I would say what my parents always said to me: if it's not challenging, it's probably not worth doing. And it has to be challenging so that all of you are competitive with your peers. You're competing against young people in China, in Russia, against young people all over the world for jobs that have not even been created yet. We can't even conceive of those jobs yet. Jobs in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it's important that we prepare you. So schooling may become more and more difficult, and I'm hoping to prepare you so that you can be competitive and get any job that you want to get.
Man, what is your name?
My name Ronnie, and how you doing? Like, even like, do you do dress codes too? Like, if your shirt's like your pants too long, like be sagging and stuff. Like, I feel like, you know, dudes should pull their pants up too. You know what I'm saying? Get their mind right and stuff like that. You know?
We do have dress codes. Unfortunately, not all of the schools actually enforce the dress code. So in a given school, you can walk into one classroom where the teachers will say, take your hats off, and in another classroom where you'll see students with their hats on, and it undermines the entire district code of conduct. Many of you see the code of conduct because you have the calendar hanging on your refrigerator or somewhere in your house. That's the code of conduct, and it describes the dress code. But you're supposed to come to school looking like a student, not looking like you're on your way to the club or hanging out at your friend's house. You're a student when you come to school, and you're not supposed to wear clothing that distracts others from learning. So there's a place to wear everything, and wearing your pants to the floor is not for school. That's for somewhere else. If it's for somewhere else, I don't know where you would wear your pants hanging to the floor. But certainly, what we have to do is make sure that everybody in the school is enforcing the dress code. And if you don't like it, you should tell your peers to straighten up and how they dress.
Yeah,
but I used to send them home, and I would send my employees home if I didn't like what they had on.
My name's Dolores. Hi.
Hi.
My question is, why isn't there enough electives in schools?
We have many, many electives. What we're seeing is that students are behind in English and math, so they're taking these classes over and over again because they fail the class, or they're taking a reading class and a math remediation class to help them to pass the core class. But we have many, many electives that students are not participating in because they are failing their core classes or because they're behind in their core classes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just wondering, what are some of the, even if maybe one thing that you're most proud of that you've done since you were a superintendent?
I think the thing I'm most proud of right now is I've gotten rid of most of the low-level classes in high schools that will not help a student get into a four-year college. So there are classes that colleges don't recognize, and we had many of those in our high schools, and we took those off the books, and we've replaced those with college level classes, so that when you apply to colleges, the colleges are more likely to say, you know what, this student can be successful and we'll accept this student. And I'm really proud of that. And that takes a lot, because there are many people who feel like we should track students, and there are some students who can go to college and some who cannot. I don't believe that. I believe that any student who works hard can go on to college and be successful. And I am going to do everything in my power to help every single student go on to college and be successful.
In closing, do you have anything else you would like to share?
I just want to encourage you all to just stick with what you're doing in terms of school. Your futures are so bright, and I know you don't always feel that. And I just want to remind you that your futures are vibrant and bright. Unlike those of us who are older, it's more difficult for us to start all over again and to make a career change, but you can actually do anything that you want to do right now. And I encourage you to really pursue whatever your dreams are and to really do your best in school, because education really is the key. I know you hear that all the time, but it's not just a saying. It really is the key to doing whatever you want to do, and not working for somebody else, but working for yourself and having your own business and having your own home and being able to purchase what you want to purchase, take care of your family and not struggling. And I want you to know that I will help you with whatever you want to do. There are 14,000 school districts in this nation. There are only 4 that will give you, pay your way to college, and Syracuse is one of them. Take advantage of that. There's no reason we only have a 53% graduation rate. Make sure you graduate. Make sure you take advantage of that tuition scholarship and that you go on and do great things. I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourselves. Thank you.
That concludes